We're in the dog days of it, where you can't really, it's not the beginning and you lose kind of the enthusiasm and you can't really see the end, but we're doing a good job of keeping everyone up and everything. It's been an exciting camp. We're having fun every day, which is a lot different than what I'm used to. It's just a lot of energy out there. Very positive.
Why the difference?
Well, success a little bit, we've been doing a lot better, and that has a lot to do with it. Guys are, when you see all the work that you put in the off season, you see it coming to fruition on the field, it's a good feeling. So we're both sides bounce around happy, both sides make plays. It's very competitive.
I would assume the install is almost completed. Is across the board, are all the packages in right now, or what's your percentages?
Every week we go into the game week, we're going to add something and do something different, throw in a wrinkle. But for the most part, the basics of our offense is in. We're still tweaking little things what we think we're going to do for a couple teams or stuff like that. We're still going to add and subtract things, but for the most part, the basis of our offense is in.
You want to discuss limiting some of your reps in terms of throwing. Have you done that, or has it not been as much of an issue?
Just just in like individual and stuff like that. Just when I do footwork and just like the throws and afterthought, I'll do the footwork, and if I don't need to throw, then I'll just not do it, just save it a little bit. Minor precautions.
Are you past the point of even worrying about it? I know the first practice there was maybe a little bit of concern.
Yeah, we've been in now a couple more weeks, and that means it's a couple more weeks onto my progression, and I feel more comfortable. The arm's getting more conditioned. We're not worried about it at all.
So what's it like having a hot shot younger quarterback pressing you? That's something you've never had before, is it?
Will's a young guy. He's going to learn. He's still got to learn. I'm trying to. He's not. I don't want to say that, but I'm trying to help him come along. It's not like it's. It is competitive. It's competitive, but I'm trying to help him because he's going to be competing for it next year, and I want him and whoever's the best guy to be, to help carry this team next year. So I want him to do good.
I mean, it's not like you haven't been through this before.
Yeah.
Jameis
and Coker, and yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, this is a little different, because it is my team, and it wasn't with that before. So,
what do you envision that he could do this year?
Hopefully a lot of mop-up duty. Hopefully we're winning some games big and he can get some mop-up duty. Other than that, that's not for me to say. That's the coach's decision. I don't know when to pull me out and put him in, or who else, or Paul or Skyler or any of them. That's not for me to say.
I mean, there's obviously things that he can do that that you probably can't do, especially the mobility part of it and things like that. I mean, could you see, I don't mean sharing the spot, but having a wildcat guy who comes in every once in a while?
That's, like I said, that's not up for me. That's not for me to decide. So.
What do you think your greatest strength is as a quarterback right now?
Right now, we really do have some continuity as an offense, and your coaches have preached on it, and we really are tight. We're so tight that we're checking things at the line that only me and the receivers know the coaches are unaware of. We're doing things that, we're very, level 400 stuff, very advanced stuff, it's fun, to be able to do that. And they have trust in me, I have trust in them, and that's why, practice is fun now, because we're succeeding, we're doing this stuff, and we are doing it well, and it's exciting. So that's one of the things that, not just me, but as a whole offense, we're better at.
When you say you're doing things that the coaches don't even know, are you talking about things that they don't signal in, that they've installed, like?
Yeah, and it's just basically, when me and the guys see something, we have something. And I'm not going to get too detailed into it, but we just recognize things that last year we were just trying to get snaps, calculus. So.
Clint, obviously the battle for the secondary wide receivers are still going on. Who have you seen really kind of break out?
Vernon Davis has done a great job. Vernon's been phenomenal. It's great to have him back there. Our first, whoever the four got, Kevin, Keel, Mario and Squirt. Squirt's had a phenomenal camp too. Those guys are solid. You know, Vernon and Mathis have been making plays. A lot of the inside guys. You know, believe it or not, Logan Moore has been in there. He's making a lot of plays at wideout. You know, we got some depth back there, more than I anticipated going into camp. You know, a lot of guys have stepped up big time.
Is that crazy for